Hello and welcome to another segment of Design Make Play Show. My name is Arian, I'm the designer at DesignMakePlay Lab. And today I'm going to talk about one-point perspective. So today we're going to talk about perspective. So what is perspective? Perspective is the way of looking at things. For example, when I'm looking at this camera, that's my perspective. When I turn my head and look at this camera, that's my other perspective. The guys behind the camera, they have the other perspective too. So, way of looking things is a definition of perspective. But how can we create that perspective? There are different types of perspectives. There's one-point perspective, two-point perspective, and three-point perspective. So today, we're going to demonstrate how to do one-point perspective. So have your pencil and paper ready, and let's jump right in. So now that you have your paper and pencil ready, we're gonna just jump in on our computer, on our papers, and get started. So for start, let's just put a focal point in our middle of our paper. So I'm just gonna draw a point, because this is called one-point perspective, right? We're just gonna use 1 point. So what we call this 1 point is focal point. Why we call this, we're gonna know really soon. So this is our focal point. What I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna draw a line going through my focal point. There we go. It's hard to draw a straight line. One of the things you guys can do, you guys can use a ruler to make it easier for yourself. There we go, I have my focal point. And a horizon line. What we call this line is a horizon line. Why we call this horizon line? Because in this case, because we're drawing a road, it's separating the sky from the road. So I'm going to draw two lines coming out of my focal point. There we go, 1 and 2. Beautiful. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to try to draw two more lines coming out of my focal point again. 1. It's hard to draw lines without a ruler, but 1, 2. So as you guys can see, it looks like a triangle, but there's no bottom part, and things getting really bigger when they're getting closer to us. So I'm going to draw lines, connecting lines in here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, I'm gonna have them a little bit closer. These are my street lines, right? They're getting bigger when they're getting closer to me. This one is getting really big. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna erase the extras so that I don't have them. Nice. And I'm gonna have this. And I'm gonna erase this part, and then this end row line is gonna be really tiny. So I have my row lines, I have my road, and then what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna just draw lines going upwards. Why this time going upwards? Because things getting bigger, right? So I'm just gonna draw my street lights like that. Beautiful. As you guys can see, things getting really bigger when they're getting closer to us. There we go. There we go. I'm just doing a really fast one. You guys can spend more time just using the technique. And the reason behind why we're using these guides to create stuff is to just keep the proportions really perfect at all the time. If you don't use these techniques, you're gonna lose your, it's hard to follow up the proportion and scale rule without using some guides. So these techniques are used for just following how to keep the proportion and scales in a perfect case. So there we go. I'm just going to erase the extras, and then you guys can start adding stuff. So I'm just gonna get rid of these extra lines. You guys can do a more cleaner job than me. I'm just doing it really fast so that you guys can follow up. Now that you have your 1-point perspective with the street lights and the road lines, and now that everything's making sense, let's add more stuff to it. Let's add some clouds. You can have puffy clouds, whatever clouds you guys like to do. Let's add some sun. Sun, there we go, it's shining there, it's summertime. And then you guys even can add a person like standing there all the way at the end of the road. It's gonna be really tiny. So like that. You can add trees, you can add cars, you can add buildings, and you can add whatever you want to your 1-point perspective and show it off to your friends. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this design segment. My name is Arian, I'm the designer at DesignMakePlay, and hopefully you guys have a great day and take care.